Give us a bit of a context. Pre-COVID, during the pandemic, and I can't say we are past COVID. How has your leadership style changed? Tell us a little bit about how you managed your team and how this whole last 2 years have been, especially for your organization.
It's very interesting. These 2 years, I think for me, I think it's both A is the COVID and the B is also this coincides with one of the biggest change in the companies, which normally does not have a change of the promoters. So both have happened at the same time. So I'll try to touch both the things. And also, I think while I think we talked about 2 years as a company, I think over the last 18 years, it's been a very interesting journey, starting from nowhere, taking it to the top, then a little bit, the headwinds, whatever the reasons and all, and I think then slipping a little. And from there, going for an IPO, acquisition of Goldman, then from a pure Indian Gujarati company becoming to a Japanese company. Japanese company, it's a chalk and cheese, differentiation how they operate. And during this period, and again, the only thing that has been constant has been the management team. And the other thing has been, I think the environment has been changing, and how do you keep responding to that? That's exactly the point that you are on, I think so broadly from our perspective, I think October 2018 was the time when the name of the company got changed, and Nippon took majority stake. I think one of the most interesting things was, this is the first time ever a company like Nippon Life, which is, is the equivalent of an LIC of Japan, right, has invested outside Japan without having a JV partner. So that's, again, why I say I try to touch that point, not very relevant for your question, but I think it's going to be very relevant from a long-term point of view. Here's a company, I think they've been working closely with the management team. I think their commitment to India, because you have 9 million investors, you have 1,000 employees, and when one of the shareholder goes through some challenges, I think they pump in about almost $2 billion to, which is one of the largest FDI investments in India. Right. But that also tells you two things, I think this business is a very people-oriented business. I think this is the same set of people, who've been driving it, while a lot of foreign asset management companies have gone through different challenges. But I think one of the key learning, I think for Nippon and for me also, while I was a part of the Amphi chairman and various things, and I think it's ultimately all local execution. And a local execution, and I think you need to be driving into future. You cannot be looking into the rearview mirror. So a lot of things that work in your home country and in past, they may not be relevant in future. So I think fast forward, I think from 2003 to 16, and I'm coming to COVID, I'm taking a little time trying to set the context, I think that's the time we acquired Goldman / Benchmark. And why I'm trying to get that context, it's all about, not about changing with the changes, it's trying to preempt the change. So I think that's the time when in India, it was all about active fund management. And everybody used to talk about, the star fund managers, the concept, the halo effect behind that, I think for us, I think what we clearly saw, that I think I've always believed this concept of this is different, this time it is different, we are different doesn't work. So I think saying that ETFs are good, are happening, big numbers are happening across the globe, but that will never happen in India was wrong. I think my philosophy was at that point of time, if something is happening in US, is happening across the world, someday it will happen in India, number one. Number two, I've always believed, like I said, it's changing with time is important, but changing ahead of time is even more important. So I think for us, I think the critical thing was at that point of time, how do we ensure that I think before somebody else, whether it's a wisdom tree, iShare, somebody comes, why should we not capitalize this opportunity to build up this business? So that I think for us, it does not matter. The investor decides what he wants, I think, but we should offer everything. So I think that was a philosophy, Similarly, I think I think also as we started the journey, we were one of the few ones which did not have a bank as a sponsor. And at that point of time, it was a big handicap because when all the big ones are sponsored by a bank, I think we started building up our business. So we said, I think, yes, if banks are not there, I think we'll build up the retail and the IFA network. So effectively, I think again, while at that time it was necessary to have bank as a sponsor or a partner, we did not have, we created a weakness into a strength. Similarly, coming to the COVID times, now moving fast forward, effectively, I think when COVID hit, I mean, let's be between us, yeah, no one else can say this is that one change we could see. Nobody knew, even I didn't know, nobody knew the word COVID till, December of 2019. We were hearing it's happening in, I think we used to see it in TV in China, something is happening, some, flu kind of a thing, whether it's SARS or something, but nobody had a clue. But again, I think from our perspective, I still remember 17th of March 2019, 20. I think we took the decision to close our offices. And for us, I think one of the most important things was, again, it's not about change will keep happening around you. And I did earlier to Arti's point, what I said, it's everything has a context. I think change is going to happen. You can't do much. I think one shot you had, your branch network was closed, your offices were closed, everything was closed. And here we were on a path to recovery, after the shareholding change. But I think one good thing has been, we've been investing a lot in technology over the last 5 years. I think, and my philosophy of trying to disrupt yourself before somebody disrupts you somehow has been helpful, and whether it was active versus passive. And also same was the strategy while we were the largest in retail distribution. Way back, about 5 years back, we hired a team from Snapdeal. And we said, at that time, I think let's try to hire a team which does not know anything about mutual funds. Because I think they should come with the mindset that what does the investor want? And today, I think as we stand, 52% of the transactions that we do are all digital. And while our offices were totally closed, from a business point of view, in the last 5 years, last year was the best year for us. And why I say best year, this industry has a fallacy of many times it's only market share or various things, but the qualitative growth comes from how many retail investors you're getting. Last year, I think out of the 20 lakh new investors which came in the industry, 9 lakh came to us. And this was after the brand change, a lot of things. And a very high percentage came through their digital. So I think from my point of view, I think coming to your question directly on the management style, I think for me, I think one thing, I'm a leader. I think, and this is something I'm going to do maybe for Aarti, it's the same thing she'll remember. In Business India, she interviewed me in 2011 at that time. I said this, my intuition has never let me down. I believe data is very important. Data and intuition both put together, I think you can, you get it right. Only data many times cannot predict that. So I think, and I think the other part, I remember that, Aarti, very well. I remember
very interesting interview.
That was a very interesting interview.
Yes.
And I still, I think I strongly believe as leaders, I think you need to be backing people. I think for me, my management style is that I think I like to back people. I'm not someone, I think it's, and why I say this, I mean, the fact that I was at the age of 36, I was the youngest CEO in India. Somebody backed me. Somebody took a chance on me. At the age of 38, I was the youngest, AMC chairman. So somebody backed me in. I mean, I did not have the experience or the track record. So I've continued believing in that philosophy. You need to back people. You need to give them the platform and the environment and let them flourish. So here also, I think for us during this period, one of the biggest things has been, I think I believe that I think whether we're working from home or in office, it does not matter. I think we interact. I miss, and I'm a person who likes physically meeting a lot of people. I think I have, for me that I miss that part, patting someone on the back, because these things don't happen, on the video calls. But one thing is there, the fact that I think as a leader, I've believed everybody is good, everybody is right, everybody is giving his best till the time he does something wrong, So I think that's why I think from my perspective, this period, it's no change. Why I said, I think even when I was sitting in office, I used to never go and check every day what you're doing, how you're doing. I think I'm more result oriented and trusting people. That has been my philosophy. So I will never try to go deep into it. For me, the end result done in the right manner. I think a shortcut is one thing is I'm strongly against. And the process, as long as the basic framework is there, I think the freedom within the framework is my management style. So that continues. And so whether you're working from home or whether you're working and they're sitting in the same cabinet does not matter. Sorry, a long answer, RC, for a short question, but I thought that will set the context around.